Hello, surprise stream. Welcome in. If you are here after the stream is already up, I'll have some timestamps for you. At the top of the stream, just want to say I normally don't really do true crime streams, so just general warning for cult-like behavior in this video. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about this TikTok cult I just finished a documentary on, but I'm gonna let everybody get in. I'm gonna fix up the stream. Chaewon Lover, how are you? I was literally thinking about you, Chaewon Lover, because I started playing Overwatch 2 again because of the Le Seraphim. Romy! Oh my god, Jerma? Jerma in my stream? Romy, we have to play, Romy, we have got to play Roblox horror games sometime soon. I'm so serious. I'll abandon the whole stream. No. I literally need to play Roblox horror games with Romy and Amanda, and Hades is squeaking. Okay, wait. Am I doing this right? Yes. Thank you, Morty. That's really nice. That was really kind of you. Thank you. He's been really licky lately. And I feel like you guys probably think I don't let him give me kisses ever. I really do. It's just when I'm wearing makeup that I don't let him, like, lick my face. Also, very rare natural hair reveal at the moment. I've got a tiny little ponytail. Can you believe it literally all fits into a ponytail? No, I don't even have any stragglers. I was gonna say, like, you probably can't tell too well because, like, it kind of, my hair is dark. It's not super dark, but it just sort of blends into the background. Also, if you saw my dirty headphones, you didn't. I've tried so many ways to get the makeup that is just all over these headphones off, and I never can because I'm typically only wearing them when I'm doing like a full beat for streaming. Was I literally just saying it's gone already? It's already gone. I was talking about my hair, Roblox horror with Romy, Chaewon Lover, because I was talking about the Le Seraphim collab. What was I literally just saying before I got distracted by Mort? I don't know. It's literally gone. It has been such a week, you guys. I'm sorry there wasn't a new video. I kind of was earlier today. I was like, okay, I could work all day on a video, maybe have something out for tomorrow or Sunday. And then today was just nutty as well. You guys know, if you watched last week's stream, last Sunday's stream, I was saying how I had like 1,010,000 doctor's appointments this week, and navigating the American healthcare system is just literally, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how prepared you are, it doesn't matter what kind of insurance you have, it is always a mess. A mess. It's a mess, and it's expensive. Why is it expensive? I'm paying an insane amount of money every single month for a deductible, and I'm still dropping like hundreds of dollars on appointments and medications and stuff. So I felt very frustrated all week. I just was not in like a place where I was like, okay, I feel like sitting down and doing a video. I just felt very like tired, and people were taking my blood. You know, like I had to do all these tests and stuff this week. So hi, Susie. Hi, Susu. Oh, here, let me pin the rules. I'm also wearing more eyeshadow than usual, and I can't decide if I like it. I actually, you know what? It's not the eyeshadow. I never wear eyeshadow, which is why I was like, do I like my makeup today? But it's because I did lower lash mascara, and I never do that. I just alphabetized a bunch of my perfume samples. My autism is purring. Oh my god. Wait, that's actually amazing. You inspire me. Wow, that must be so nice to just see in a lineup. Alphabetizing your perfumes is actually like genuinely such a good idea. That is such a good idea. Sorry, Zach Baggins. Bagans. Every time I say his name and I don't say it like that, people get so mad. But I have to see an ENT and I'm so sorry, a rheumatologist. The wait for an appointment is 3 months average. I had to see a specialist this week who referred me to another specialist, and I'll talk very briefly about American healthcare. If you do not know this system, you're gonna be like, what? Has Nightbot posted the... Okay, Nightbot, thank you. I'm gonna add a general trigger warning, I guess, to the top of the pinned rules, for just generally, like, cult stuff, like, control, other just general bad cult things. I don't know what will be mentioned in the documentary that we're gonna be watching today, so I might update this, but I'm just, for now, general cult stuff. I'm just gonna go trigger warnings and then chat reminders, just in case, because right now I don't know what specifics it would be. But yes, okay, so Zach Bagans, I haven't heard that name in years. I've been seeing so much stuff about Ghost Adventures recently, honestly. Which we'll talk about some other time. Kind of dark, in general, but not with Zach. Just in general. Also, hi, Amanda. Anyways, okay. So, I go to a specialist this week who, first and foremost, going to the doctors is always such a fine gamble when you are plus size, of like, am I gonna walk into this office and is someone gonna say, have you ever thought about losing weight? You know what I mean? Is that gonna be the first thing out of their mouth when, like, there's very clearly other stuff going on? And luckily I didn't, well, I did, but not at this one specialist appointment. Because I'm really trying to chase down an endo diagnosis, and as kind of expected, I have to rule out a myriad of different things before they even start to consider the exploratory surgery. Okay, so I'm going to specialists, and then I'm going to other specialists, and I'm getting all of these tests done, and I'm making sure, like, is this back pain not actually something wrong with my spine? It's not. You know, is it something else? So I get referred to another specialist from this one specialist, and the wait time is going to be 2 months. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Because currently I have been, in the past year, like, in so much pain. I finally am like, okay, all right. I changed health insurances for this very circumstance so that I didn't have to have a primary care doctor tell me what specialists I could and couldn't go to. I'm paying out the boo-hiney for it. And I have to go from one specialist to another specialist. And it's going to take me 2 months. I'm just going to have to live like this. And that's just one thing. That's just like one test. Like, it's just one test I have to rule out. Oh my God. And I know I'm literally preaching to the choir here. I know I'm literally, like, sitting here saying this to so many of you who are like, yeah. My regular doc kept saying to lose weight for my pain. Turns out I have an autoimmune disease. Yeah, doctors in general, number one, I feel like when it comes to women in general, or just generally speaking non-cis men, I feel like very often the healthcare system will just be like, suck it up, essentially. And yeah, I know about the Aaron situation from Ghost Adventures. Like I said, not really something I want to talk about It's just so dark. It's the Folklore cardigan. Folklore's Fall Child. What was I literally just saying? It's gone. It's gone. I have had the craziest brain fog all week. It has just been a whole thing. Oh yeah, I was talking about how very often doctors don't, I feel like in general, don't take women very seriously. And it really stinks that then there's also this like factor of like, okay, you know, they might immediately go into, you're having this pain because you're overweight. And like, I did not just randomly start, I have experienced PCOS symptoms for 10 years, over 10 years. My God, almost 12 years of this. And it's very often misdiagnosed. It's very often endometriosis misdiagnosed. And I'm just like, this feels like, I feel like I'm in like a horror movie. It sounds so dramatic, but that's literally how it feels. Like having to constantly go in and advocate for yourself and being the only one who can advocate for yourself, and like saying like, look, I went in with a period journal to all of these appointments where I had written down what I was feeling at which stage of my cycle every single time, where the pain was at, how I was feeling, you know, what the symptoms were, whatever, so on and so forth, how some months were better than others. Could I have been doing something differently those months? I mean, I have been a crazy person with this because I literally don't know what else to do. And I swear to you, I'm not going to talk about my health forever, but like it has just been so prevalent because last week I was going into all of these appointments. I just got a bunch of appointments and it's just still ongoing. But yes, exactly. I feel like a crazy person because I'll walk in and I'll be like, here is all of the stuff that I'm experiencing. Here are all of these symptoms. Here's this like insane diary I've kept. And I understand the doctors work so hard and they have so many patients. And I always try to condense it as much as humanly possible. But you're going to look at me and you're going to be like, yeah, this is really interesting. You're experiencing insane pain around your period and, you know, having this, it's cyclical, comes with your cycles and stuff like that. Like, have you ever thought that like maybe you should just lose weight? Oh my God, it's so infuriating. It's so infuriating. It's literally so infuriating. Yeah. Gaslight gatekeep general practitioner. And that's like one fraction of it. You know what I mean? I went to urgent care for something unrelated actually yesterday, and I walk into urgent care and I'm like, hey, I changed insurances since the last time I was here. And they were like, oh, I'm not sure that we actually take this insurance. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Like, and I could have found an urgent care that did. Luckily they did. But my God, it's just so frustrating. And I so feel for people who experience chronic pain and chronic illness through like their entire lifetimes, or who struggle with, you know, illnesses that like just follow them through every single walk of life. Because, are you okay? Oh, it's the ball. Oh my God, I thought he was vomiting. Because I feel like, and I've said this before, I feel like I have really only dealt with this for like a year or a couple of months. A year or a couple of months. It has been a straight year actually, but I feel like it hasn't been that long since like I stopped going to one doctor, hearing them say, well, maybe it's not that. Try this and this and this, and then just giving up. You know what I mean? Like for the first time, I feel like, okay, I'm really, really, really chasing this down. And yeah. Yeah. Yeah, doctors really, Sam, that's exactly how it is. Doctors really come in like, yeah, you're in extreme pain, but you're fat, so maybe don't be. It is so unbelievable that like I am a grown woman, not even a young grown woman. I am a grown woman with like so much life experience, and I know my body. And you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say, I mean, you're fat, so I don't know. And it, luckily, like I said, it was like one experience I had. But my God, it is just so unbelievably frustrating. I'm gonna read these super chats. Similarly to the last time, I guess I just have to rant and rave about this. That's why there was no video this week, though. I am just so it has just been a week. It has been a week, and I'm happy to hang out with you guys. This was my way that I was like, okay, I'm gonna burn off some steam, stream with you guys, talk about this weird ass TikTok cult, and hang out. And yeah, we'll not talk about this forever. And like I said, I really don't want to like come in and give you guys updates every single week of like this is going on and this is going on and this is going on. But I think like when you're in the thick of it, it's just, it feels really isolating. It feels really frustrating because like you already don't feel well. So it's like I'm expending the very little amount of like energy I feel like I have on chasing down a diagnosis that somebody is telling me is probably just because of my weight. Or, you know, just suggesting that instead of like offering anything. So, yeah. But it has to get better eventually. It has to get better eventually. So, Romy also just put this into the chat. We are still looking for more mods if you guys want to apply over on the Discord. We'd appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna read these, but thank you guys for, thank you for sharing your stories as well, because it makes me feel a lot less alone in this. Like I said, it's very isolating, and it just makes me feel so much less crazy. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Mooney, thanks for 4 months. Loey live on a Friday night. Sign me up. Well, we are doing another live next Friday for something I can't quite tell you guys about yet. So I thought, since we're already going to be doing an extra stream next week, why not do an extra stream this week? And I can't really like get myself to film a video right now, so this is the next best thing. Willow, also thanks for 7 months. Hi, beautiful. Hope you're doing good. I love you. I'm doing okay, Willow. I hope you're good too. I love you more. I hope you're well. Morty gives you tiny little kisses right on your head. Oh, you don't like it today? Okay, sorry. Towie. I'm Towie. Willow also, sorry. Willow, I said thank you for 7 months, but thank you for 7 months. I just really wanted to read it again. Rengirl18, welcome to the channel memberships. If you guys are just now joining the channel memberships, don't forget to check out the members only tab. There's a lot of cool stuff over there for you. Mother of 388, thank you so much for that super chat. I so appreciate you. Shadowflower16, thanks for 21 months. Yeah, I was saying, I think I had seen your message. Have I heard about Zach's co-star's situation? Yeah, with Aaron. It's just too dark to get into without like, it's just so intense. I'm glad he's okay. I do plan on talking about it, but it's like, yeah, I feel really bad for him. I cannot even imagine like your partner doing something like that to you. Like they got married like 4 months. 4 months? 4 months? No, they got married like 2 years ago? Anyway. The gaming noobs, no. Keep your money. Take it back right now. Put it back in your wallet. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That's very generous of you. I'm gonna send it back to you. I'm gonna mail it. Um, KKA, thanks so much for the super chat. Oh my goodness. Well, hi to you and your BF. Thanks for watching my stuff. I'm sorry you came in here on the craziest medical rant of mine, but I really hope you enjoy the stream if you are still here. I really appreciate that as well. Thank you for the support. And I hope you guys are having a good time zone wherever you are. Christina, also thanks for 20 months. We are doing good this week. We're doing okay. The dogs have been a little bit cooped because, like I said, I've literally just been using all of my energy on getting myself through the week with everything that I've had to do this week. So I called their dog walker, who only comes sometimes, and they had so much fun with her. She takes all 3 of them when she takes them on walks. It's very cute. She doesn't come often. It's only like when I'm like, okay, I really cannot handle, because I can handle one of them. I can't handle all 3 of them, especially not at once. So yeah, they're doing good. They really enjoyed that, and today we just did a lot of playing and stuff in the backyard, huh? Christina, thank you again for 20 months. Sorry, I didn't know if I had said that first part. Shadowflower16, sorry if you already mentioned it. I'm sorry you're in so much pain. My sis has endo, and she suffered a male doctor after another with the same BS. Wishing health. Yeah, with Love and Light, I don't know if I don't know if I would put myself in a situation where I had like a male gynecologist at this point in time. Not because like of any reason other than like I feel like nobody's listening already. So I've always just chosen female doctors for the most part, but because now I'm seeing so many specialists, I don't really, I'm so sorry. I really don't know what you're doing, but I'm sorry that that happened, Hades. He's like on top of me. But yeah, sometimes you can't choose. Sometimes like you just kind of get what you get. But I completely understand that, and I had some similar stuff happen as well. So Nikki just had the same issue, different diagnosis today. Thanks for not making me feel alone in this. Well, thank you for not making me feel alone in it. Just lost 43 pounds. Now they're starting to listen. And isn't it interesting how that happens? Isn't it just interesting how it's like, oh yeah, I'm still experiencing the exact same health problems. Hey, crazy thought here. Maybe it's something you should pay attention to. I don't know. But thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing. Like I said, I think like it makes me feel a lot less alone. Kai, also, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. The Taro Bish, on the bright side, I make cornbread. Delicious. Oh my god. Love. So good. I wish I had some right now. Kai also said, remember your pain is not normal. Make them listen. Honestly, thank you for that as well, because literally my first appointment of the week made me feel so stupid. It made me feel so just like, okay, what you're saying lines up with everything else I've had happen where my labs are coming back fine, and like, but you do an ultrasound and there are no cysts on my ovaries or anything like that. So the one condition that like I have in my medical file, that's not it this time. But I appreciate you. It has been so frustrating, and I'm also such a people pleaser, and like I hate inconveniencing anyone, and I hate like feeling like I'm like annoying anybody or anything like that, which is so ridiculous in the context that I'm telling you. But it's definitely something I've kind of had to start unlearning, you know what I mean? Especially in this, where it's like, okay, no, I'm paying you to listen, please just listen. And I'm pretty determined this round that like I am not quitting until somebody does, because I cannot keep doing this. So I'm gonna use Hades' toy like a stress ball. Angie, also thanks for 21 months. I would have done it if the squeak wouldn't have been astronomically loud. Hey Loie, so happy to see your face. Love you. I love you more, Angie. Thanks for 21 months. I love you. And then Haley, thank you so much for that incredibly generous super chat. I am hoping we're keeping you company at work. And I hope you don't mind my reading this out loud. I'm extremely uncomfortable because my body and my shirt clinging to me. I'm using my belt to like squeeze me, and I totally know what you're saying. Have been there. But you've always been so positive with yourself and your weight. Do you have any advice? I sure do. I would say that, like, you know, I've had a lot of experience living in a plus size body. I've been in one the vast majority of my life. And what I can tell you is that, like, you are never, nothing is ever going to change positively by disliking the skin you're in. Now, as I sit here and say that, it might be like, well, I'm not actively choosing to dislike my body. It just, you know, it's like this feeling that you have. It's this, like, just feeling a little insecure in the skin that you're in. And I think that very often for me, the best way to combat it, when it's like, okay, I cannot get into a frame of mind where I'm saying nice things to myself in the mirror. I cannot get into a frame of mind where I'm like sitting there and thinking kindly about myself, or like I feel bad in my clothing or whatever, because it happens to all of us. Please know that too. It's completely normal to feel that way. And I don't feel confident 100% of the time by any means. Excuse me, by any stretch of the imagination. But oh my gosh, hey Normie. Susie, I got a Zofran. That was actually the best thing that happened to me this week, was I got a Zofran prescription. Actually, I was so happy. Because I'm now on like all of these different medications, and I was like, hey man, these are making my tum-tum hurt real bad, and it's been like one day, and they said, here's some Zofran for you, and I was like, yes, thank you so much, or whatever the generic version of Zofran is. Sorry, to go back to what you were saying, Haley. First and foremost, know that, like, not everybody, the Kardashians don't feel the bad, like 100% with themselves all the time, like. And they have all the money in the world and all the resources to change anything about themselves at the drop of a hat. So I feel like in moments where it's like you can't quite rewire the brain to be gentle with yourself and to be kind, I feel like then I have to turn to gratitude. I have to turn to, oh my God, wait, this is like the vessel that I'm in. And this is the body that takes me on walks with my dogs when I'm not laying on the couch with a heating pad because my cramps are so bad. But this is the body that, like, I've lived all of these years of life in. This is the same body I'm gonna have when I'm, God willing, a little old lady. Like, I feel like you have to turn to a place of, like, maybe just recognizing the skin that you're in as the home it is, rather than trying to affirmation yourself into self-confidence and self-love. And there's a lot of good things in that. I've been preaching stuff like that for my entire time on YouTube, just like the importance of maybe saying one nice thing to yourself in the mirror every single day, and then maybe, you know, doing it again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that, and adding more and more and more to it, and kind of just faking it till you make it. But I feel like when that doesn't work, where I always go is, okay, this is my body that has been through hell and back, has been through sicknesses and illnesses, and is able to withstand like pain that I'm in, and has protected me. So I love you. I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna read the next comment, but sending you a lot of love right now. Ren, also, thanks for joining the channel memberships, or welcome back, rather. The Gaming News, thanks for 10 months. No! I'm gonna throw it at you. And it's really not very comfortable. I'm actually shocked Hades likes it. I was going through his toy box today and pulling out toys he doesn't play with, and he saw me, like, ready to put this one, like, okay, I don't really think he ever plays with this. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna play with this. So... wow, that was kind of crazy. You guys, I counted the other day how many times a day I throw his ball, and I miss so many. I just like very roughly counted. I like tried to take a tally, and I would write down when, you know, he maybe wanted to stop playing or something. I'm like, okay, well, that time I threw it like 25 times or whatever. I throw this dog's toy for him like over, this is insane, over 220 times a day. And that's on the low end. That's on the like, okay, wow, this tavern music just got so loud for me. I don't know why. That's on like the, I was paying attention and I still didn't count all of it. I threw this man's toy all day, every day. I was so curious how much I throw that toy. But the gaming moves, I love you. Thank you. You're very kind to me. Death Shadow went to the eye doctor, and most of the appointment he focused on my weight in the most disrespectful way possible, and I'm a minor. Love you, Louie. I love you too, and I'm really, really, really sorry to hear that. And I hope that you know that, like, you absolutely can tell someone about it, but I also know that for me growing up, I had the exact same experience, and from like our family doctor, and I said something to my parents, and they were just, and I was like fresh out of like very restrictive eating patterns, had just started gaining healthy weight back, and had him say that, my like family doctor from all these years ago, say that to me. And God bless them, my parents weren't too concerned. So if you're in a similar situation, I'm really sorry. I hate that, like, it's something where it can't be like, hey, report that, because that's weird to, you know, like, why is your eye doctor talking about your weight? I lost the comment, but yes, Susie has great advice here. Susie put this really well. Talk to yourself about your body like you're talking to a best friend. You'd never insult them or degrade them, so don't do it to yourself. Exactly. Wait, did another comment come through? No, okay, we're just giving amazing advice. Thank you guys. Thank you for all of this great advice. Sometimes I need it too, so. But yeah, it stinks that, like, I don't know, like, in a situation where it's like, why does your eye doctor have anything to say about that? And why are you not just testing my eyesight, man? Maybe just give, I don't know, get my glasses prescription or something. I really, really don't know what to tell you. Ren also said, nurse and fellow Spoonie, screw doctors and you got this. Advocate B, if you have to get second opinions, good healthcare providers are out there. I know. And it really was kind of one bad apple, but it's more than that. It's like, even though I like my doctors, I still feel like, why do I have to prove to you that I'm in this degree of pain? It's invisible. That's why all of my stuff comes back with nothing. That's why I can get a CT scan and I can get the MRIs and I can get all this blood work done every single month. And hey, nothing's going on. So that's another thing is, oh my God, illnesses that people can't see with their own eyes. And even if they can see it, I feel like so often people will think you're faking. I know one time, so my mom has a handicap sticker for her car, or like the hanging thing, because she's been in 2 really terrible accidents over the course of her life. Over the past like couple of years, she was in like a terrible car accident a couple of years back. And I mean, she's had her ankle replaced like 4 times now. Like, it has been a journey, and thankfully this last one went really, really, really well. I think maybe it was 3 times, maybe it wasn't 4, but she has like a, you know, a handicap thing, but because she is like this, she looks athletic and she looks healthy, and like I feel like so often people will see her parking in the handicap spot and they'll kind of like give us like weird looks. And one time somebody said something and I just looked at them and I was like, the audacity to give someone side eye for using a handicap accessible. Oh my god, Megan, thank you so much for the 20 gifted. I'm sitting here rambling about healthcare stuff. I can't see the rest of your username for some reason, but Megan makes, I see MA. I'm gonna say Megan makes magic because that's what you do to me. Let me see. Oh my god, I was right! I'm literally psychic. That's crazy. Megan, thank you very much for those 20 gifted. That's very, very, very generous to you. Congratulations to all the new members. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. But yeah, like, this is somebody who is using the handicap accessible parking spot at Publix a couple of times a week. And you're gonna give them the side eye? Like, it just is so... Yeah. I'm very fortunate that my family has entirely been so supportive about this with me and has listened to me at every single... Oh yes, no ages, guys. Sorry, we have rules pinned up in chat. I am gonna turn on, I'm gonna turn on subscriber only. I usually try to do that. Subscriber only just means, you know, subscribing to the channel. It doesn't mean, like, paying for membership. I feel like I always have to clarify that. But, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I feel like I keep spiraling and getting off topic, but thank you. Ren, I appreciate it. It means a lot coming from a nurse as well. Jesse, also, thank you for 14 months. Congrats to your BFF! Oh my goodness! That's amazing! That's awesome. Eee! Also, Gwen, have you heard the cult The Ramp? It's on TikTok. No. It's funny because as I was sitting here and I was like, okay, we're going to talk about the 7M cult today, I was thinking like, oh my god, there are so many religious organizations that are cults, very thinly disguised, on social media now. I mean, it's just how they spread their propaganda. Do you guys think Scientology has a TikTok account? Hold on. I have to go find out. Oh, right. I need to post on TikTok that I'm live. Or Instagram. Wait, I have to see if Scientology... Because all I ever see with Scientology is... Okay, no, they don't have a TikTok. Do they have an Instagram? Does Scientology have social media? The Church of Scientology does indeed have have an Instagram. I think it's quite telling that they don't have a TikTok because they know they would get roasted on that platform. Yeah. But no, I will write that down though, The Ramp. I will keep that in mind for future stuff because I was thinking about making a full-blown YouTube video on this and then again just literally did not have the energy for it this week. I'm also hoping to do a bit more research with you guys kind of like live tonight. So I can maybe learn more. Which we're gonna do with this little mini doc that we're watching on YouTube. But yeah, it might be interesting to do like a, I don't know, a couple of them in one video, but then I feel like I might breeze over stuff and I don't want to like condense things too much. So I will keep that in mind, The Ramp. Also, Shelb, you know you best. Feel better so soon. We love you. I love you more. Thank you for listening. But yeah, I love you more. Thank you. Megan, thank you again for the 20 gifted. That's so kind. And then the Gaming Noobs, this is literally the best advice I ever heard. I'm assuming you meant with the body positivity stuff we were talking about earlier, with like talking about yourself like you are your own best friend, or was it the medical stuff, advocating for yourself? Either way, your body is so important, and taking care of it is so important. Taking care of your, like, advocating for it. It's kind of funny how like that really is so much of what we're talking about tonight is advocating for your body, to yourself, to your doctors, to like, you know. So yeah, I'm glad it was useful. I'm glad it was helpful. Jen also currently moving country low key, going. Yeah, I feel that going bald. From it, I can. Sorry, glad I can catch a live to decompress. Literally, Jen, when I moved from my home state to where I live now, I got my first ever bald patch in the front of my head. I was like, what is this? I literally thought that I just was going bald starting from this very random little patch right up here. Luckily it grew back, but I also think it might have been my cat Lily, God rest her soul. She would sit in my bed at night and she would lick it, but I think it started going bald, and then I think she made it exponentially worse. I think she was like, wow, this is a fun little spot of scalp, and then I would wake up in the middle of the night to her curled around my head, just licking the bald spot, making it bigger and bigger. Medical assistant helped me make money while I was working in Oh, were you a medical assistant when you were in nursing school, Norm? All right. Okay, so here's the thing. I can't decide if I want to record tonight or not. I feel like I'm not going to. Because again, I think I might dive a little deeper into this. I kind of think tonight is going to be, you know how in the past I've done like these like exploratory streams where we've watched TikToks and stuff together? I think that's going to kind of be what tonight is. We'll see. We'll see. I can always just download the stream. Okay. We are going to get started. And okay. No? Morty? No? You don't want to hear? Or was that like a hell yeah? He did sit with me while I watched this entire documentary, and he was like in my lap just staring at the TV as I was so confused. I will say, so I just watched the documentary about the 7M cult. It's called Dancing with the Devil. It's on Netflix. And while it wasn't a bad documentary by any stretch of the imagination, I feel like I walked away with a lot of questions. And it's interesting because I have done that before. I've walked away from a specific documentary with a lot of questions. It was the Way Down doc on Max, and I specifically found one YouTuber. Her name is Not the Good Girl. I'm going to say all this again in a sec. But I had found a documentary that she had made just on YouTube, and it was so informative and good, and like I really got a lot out of it. So I saw that she had also made one on 7M. So that's what we're going to be watching tonight. Today, whatever it is. But to kind of, I guess, give you a little backstory if you've never heard of this. This documentary I just watched is called Dancing for the Devil. Or is it Dancing with the Devil? It's definitely Dancing for the Devil. I don't have this up. Dancing for the Devil, yes. Well, we can talk about that first and foremost. It was a documentary that I think came out late last year, maybe mid last year, about specifically the cult allegations against the talent management company 7M Films. I was reading that from the wiki. So 7M Films is this company that is this TikTok talent agency. Now, as somebody who has been a content creator for years and years and years, I feel like you kind of see these management companies come and go, and there are some ones that have like a lot of longevity, and agencies with like incredible long-standing provable success. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like you see like the CAAs of the world, and it's like that is like a traditional media talent agency. They have a lot behind it, but you'll see little companies like this pop up, and very often what they do is they'll get like one or two influencers with millions and millions of followers, and then other influencers will see that and they're like, wait, I need a manager. I'm getting in these endorsement deals, or I want to do them, or I'm, getting all of these followers, or I want to scale this thing and I don't really know how to do it. So you look to somebody who has knowledge in the field. And going for a manager is very normal. And I feel like most social media platforms, whether it's TikTok or if your primary platform is YouTube, whatever. So 7M Films is different, however, because it's not just a talent agency. It is also attached to a church. Specifically, the Shekinah Church, which is currently being headed, I don't think it was founded by, we're going to get more into this. I know that 7M Films is founded by Robert Shin, who's like the main kind of perpetrator that the documentary focuses on. But I don't know if like the church group itself founded it. I guess I also should say that all of this is alleged. Probably should have said that earlier. But apparently they are real Sue happy, so hey, as most cults tend to be. All of this is alleged. Whatever. Do with that what you will. But the reason that 7M Films is different is that it is attached to this religious organization. And again, the whole thing is headed by this Robert guy. And it turns out he's been kind of doing this kind of stuff. And by doing this kind of stuff, I mean specifically like taking advantage of people for years and years and years and hiding it under a thin veil of religious ideology. So specifically, okay, yeah, he did not found the Seven Mountain Mandate, which is what the 7M cult is. To be fair, it is not like listed as a cult on like this Wikipedia page, for example, but if it looks like a cult and smells like a cult, it's probably a cult. So the Seven Mountain Mandate, or the Seven Mountain Dominionism, or 7M, is a conservative Christian movement with roots in evangelical Christianity. Fun fact for you, they supported the Big Orange. Yeah. And actually, one member, Paula White, would go on to become Trump's personal spiritual advisor. So that's fantastic. If that tells you anything about about this group. In 2020, Charlie Kirk said, "Finally, we have a president that understands the 7 mountains of cultural influence," during a speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference. Great. And the 7 mountains of cultural influence, I'm sure that this YouTuber will explain as we get into it if she doesn't I'll go into it, but I'm fairly certain she will, because it's kind of one of the things that the documentary focused on first. But basically, okay, here, yeah, the 7 areas of the movement that the movement basically believes influence society, and if you change any of these 7 movements, or all of them rather, it can change the world, are family, religion, education, media, entertainment, business, and government. So maybe it makes sense that somebody affiliated with it would want to break into the entertainment industry, want to get their fingers into the world of TikTok. Followers believe that by fulfilling the 7 Mountain Mandate, they can establish the kingdom of God on earth and bring about the end times. So it's one of those. It's one of those where like they're kind of preparing. I feel like you hear about these, oh my God, Lauren Boebert is a member of the 7 Mountain Mandate? Butch Hartman? No shot. No way. Is Butch Hartman the Fairly Odd Parents Danny Phantom himself? You know what's funny is I had seen people talk about like his kind of more conservative views online before, but yep, it sure does seem he is a prominent member of the 7 Mountain Mandate cult. Allegedly, cult. Man, that's so interesting. Okay. Well, those are just some of the people, but it's certainly not a small religious movement by any stretch of the imagination. So enter from the Seven Mountain Mandate Shekinah Church, which was founded by Robert Shin back in 1994, with ties to 7M, holds those same values, believes in those same things. Um, Susie. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't want to, I mean, we won't get to like whole political debates or anything. It's just I feel like that's important to know, is like that's where that's kind of where this group stands. Um Sorry, I'm getting lost here. I should have taken better notes. Yes, okay. So, enter Shekinah Church, which is founded by Robert Shin, who the documentary primarily focuses on. Standard media company, 7M Films ends up being. Takes 20%, pretty standard in the influencer social media content creation industry. But what is really not standard here is that they would have content houses, this group. So we're moving on from the religious organization back to the media company that I was just talking about. And they take that 20%. Again, that's pretty standard. What isn't standard is that in addition to that 20%, you also had to tithe to the church, which is standard usually 10%. If you're a member of a church, you give 10%. I guess that's in the Bible, is like 10% to the church. But then they also had content houses. So in order to be part of this content house, you would have to pay rent. You would have to pay like all of these different things. And when I was watching the documentary, a lot of the people who were in it actually went on to say that the vast majority of the money that they made, they also had to work at businesses run by Robert Shin, the founder of this church, the guy who runs 7M Films. They had to pay him, pay their tithing, pay the 20%. And they would say, like, we're already working at companies all run by him because he wants to keep it entirely in this church. I wouldn't call it a compound, but there is a gigantic gated home that's in the documentary. I love how I'm using Hades' tennis ball as like my talking stick. If I was a professor, this would be how I would give my lecture. Susie, you're so smart. No, you're very, very, very wise. Thank you for looking out. But he really wants to allegedly isolate people. I mean, you get somebody entirely financially dependent on you. You get them completely emotionally dependent on you. Religiously, I guess, would also be tied into that emotionally. And they look to you as the spiritual leader. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting to go to a spiritual advisor, a spiritual leader, like somebody that you would trust. I feel like if you are in a religion, you should be able to talk to your pastor or your head of church, whoever it might be. But for this guy, he gave, I mean, just the absolute worst advice known to man. One kind of, I don't know if you'd call this a tenet. I don't know if you'd call it like a suggestion. I don't really know what you call this. He would tell the members that you had to die to yourself to be reborn. I feel like that's something we hear about with cults fairly often, is like this idea that you kind of have to like die to yourself to be saved. And then what does that even mean? In this circumstance in particular, I guess I can give you one example. Members of Shekinah, members of this 7M Films management company were all told to stop talking to their family at all. Anybody outside of the church, point blank period, they were to have no contact with. The documentary in particular follows this set of sisters, one of whom entered the cult, one of whom did not. And the one who ended up going into it and staying in it, didn't even go to her own grandfather's funeral, basically because she didn't feel like she was supposed to. Because everything that this leader had told her, who she trusted, who, again, she was financially dependent on, emotionally dependent on, she lives in a house run by this group, they're telling her in some way, shape, or form that, hey, don't go to your grandfather's funeral. And she's always been very close with her family, whatever. I feel like I could talk about a lot of this. I do have a lot to say, but I think we're going to go ahead and get into the actual YouTube video we're going to be watching tonight. And if I feel like I need to supplement, I will. But this YouTuber is so thorough. I highly, highly, highly doubt I will. Also, Official Terror Spooky, hi, thanks for 24 months. Love you. And then Nyx, thanks so much for the 5 gifties. I appreciate you. Okay, so we are going to be watching... I almost just went to go hit the record button, but I remembered I literally did a whole bit on this where I was like, I don't know if I'm recording tonight. So this is Not the Good Girl. I was briefly explaining this earlier, but this YouTuber, I absolutely love her videos. The original way that you can see I've gone through a lot of this. The original way that I found her, I've watched this video so many times, was I watched The Way Down on Max and kind of left and was like, I feel like I still have a lot of questions. And she made just the most incredible video on The Way Down workshop and Gwen Shamblin and this crazy weight loss cult. So a really big recommended watch if you guys want something else to watch from her. And I have her in this original video linked down below. So we're going to be watching her video, the TikTok dance cult run by a pastor with a dark past. And yeah. All right. We feeling good? I think I'm going to play this for a second. We're going to see where the audio's at and we'll get started. To turn that up a little bit.
Hey guys, I'm Miranda. I'm Melanie.
I can't hear
We're
it.
the Wilkins Sisters, and welcome to our new show, What's Next?
No, this is so
I don't know if the
real.
sound is good.
It doesn't, yeah. We just want Miranda back. And don't know what to do.
And somehow, some way, something changed our daughter.
How's that?
So one of the questions is...
A little bit
Are you
quieter, a little bit louder. Sorry, I've seen that footage of that. That's a live stream that the family did. That's probably just the beginning too. So maybe we can get started. And it's a little loud on my end. The volume levels are looking pretty even on mine. I would worry about turning it down too much, but I can hit it a little bit. I can take it down to like there. Because I will be honest with you guys, I've been watching a lot of the streams back and the volume has been so quiet. Sometimes I feel like maybe because I always adjust the sound for you guys, sometimes I think I go a little bit too soft. So I've really been trying to like project my voice and leave things a little bit louder. I think I'm gonna, we'll leave it there for now. And if I have to put it up, I have to put it up. So, okay. Let's get started.
Hey guys, I'm Miranda. I'm Melanie. We're the Wilkins Sisters, and welcome to our new show, What's Next?
No, this is so real. It doesn't, yeah. We just want Miranda back. And don't know what to do.
And somehow, some way, something changed our daughter.
So one of the questions is, are you okay? I am great. I'm actually way more than okay.
Yeah, because people that are doing really, really, really well sound like that when they're saying they're doing well. That was the sister who's in the cult, in case you didn't already pick up on that. As reported in Rolling Stone, Robert Shin, 7M Films, and the Derricks have denied any wrongdoing and all allegations against them, which is, I think, important to mention. These are allegations. The group, like I said, apparently is fairly Sue happy, I guess I'd say. So yeah, this is all alleged, and I guess that's that for now. God, I love this channel so much. You guys, if you've never watched Not the Good Girl, you're going to
At the
love her.
center of what some are calling a cult is the Seven Mountain Mandate, also known as 7M, a conservative Christian movement used as a strategy for evangelizing the modern world through what they call the Seven Mountain Prophecy. The seven spheres, or mountains, stand for what they seek to control and transform. The seven spheres are family, religion, education, media, entertainment, business, and government. The notion behind
And sorry, just immediately off the bat, it's like, I don't really think I trust any religion that thinks that they need to have control of not only religion or, you know, have their hand in the pudding of religion, education, family, government, business, media, and arts and entertainment. Off the bat, already, sorry, off the bat, already at education and government, those are not things that religion is supposed to be tied into. So,
the notion behind the mandate is that by transforming each of the seven spheres, you can bring change to society and the world as a whole. Some have said the Seven Mountain Mandate sometimes drifts into the realm of dominion theology, the belief that the God of Christianity desires Christians to rise to power and govern the nation according to biblical precepts. The Seven Mountain Mandate has gained popularity among some charismatic and Pentecostal churches and was allegedly taught and honored at Shekinah Church, which is owned and pastored by a man named Robert Shin.
before she gets into obviously stuff with Robert as well, it's just really interesting because off the bat, like just going into this, it's like this religious group believes that nobody should be in power but their religion. Like that is the biggest red flag of all red flags. If nothing else made you kind of side-eye it, like everyone who's in power in the world should believe in the same God you believe. Okay.
Shekinah Church is a tax-free religious organization that opened in the Los Angeles, California area in 1994 after Robert moved from Canada. According to an old version of his website, Robert described himself as a former medical doctor who changed his life after hearing the voice of God. But Robert is allegedly no regular pastor, and his current businesses and finances may prove that. But more on that later. Right now, we're going to take a look at a few famous TikTokers who are part of Robert's alleged cult and working under his management company, 7M Films, as well as the accusations against Robert and the dancers by the families who have been disconnected, and a former lawsuit by an ex-member of Robert's church, who in court records accused Robert of mind control, coercive persuasion, and taking over her email passwords and bank accounts to pay for his family's entertainment, living expenses, medical bills, tuition, and more. Miranda and Melanie Wilking were born and raised in Detroit, Michigan to Dean and Kelly Wilking. Miranda was born on February 24th of 1997 and Melanie on April 12th of 1999.
And they're queens. I mean, they started dancing on TikTok and kind of found popularity over the pandemic months. I feel like a lot of people on TikTok who blew up for stuff like this. Dancing on TikTok.
They grew up with a close bond. And
over COVID specifically, like over those times, like you were just in your room all the time. And these girls are like former dancers who grew up with it. So I'm sure, again, that this creator will talk about it, but they blew up fast.
They grew up with a close bond and had many of the same interests, with a passion for dance. While in elementary school, the two sisters even started a dance camp in the backyard of their childhood home. Before we continue, please allow me to tell you about today's sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. How many subscriptions are we paying for that we may have forgotten about? Especially those free trials that are so convenient to sign up for. I'm definitely guilty of that. Rocket Money finds sneaky or forgotten subscriptions and makes canceling them as easy as clicking a button.
I know.
A few things I like about Rocket Money is that it helps me set up budgets that automatically monitor my spending by category, get friendly notifications when I exceed them, and lets me visualize my spend to earn ratio by month, quarter, or year, something I find very useful to help me stay on track as I work towards my financial goals. Rocket Money's mission is to meaningfully improve the financial health of millions of people. They empower their members to achieve all their financial goals by canceling unwanted subscriptions, lowering bills, setting up budgets, helping members monitor their credit score, setting up a smart savings plan, and growing their net worth, all in one place.
It's a big
On
network.
average, Rocket Money users save over $720 a year. There are no confusing websites, no auto-renew, and no long hold times. Download Rocket Money and unlock more features with premium. Go to rocketmoney.com/notthegoodgirl or click the link in the video description below or the pinned comment. Once again, that's rocketmoney.com/notthegoodgirl or click the link in the video description or the pinned comment below. Now, back to the video.
Loey tuned into the ad is so funny. Well, I always play, if we're ever watching a video that's sponsored, I never skip the ad spot. I feel like it's the least I can do when I'm reacting to something. But I literally just used my Rocket Money account the other day because I was like, I feel like I have so many subscriptions right now that I am just not staying on top of. It's actually a product I do use.
Miranda and Melanie were fortunate enough to attend the Performing Arts High School, the Warren Consolidated School of Performing Arts, a theater high school for 9th through 12th grade students. The school's website states that the first year of study is dedicated to a sampling of fundamental knowledge, skills, and terminology related to drama, dance, and technical theater. In the following years, students continue to build on those basic skills while pursuing advanced opportunities in areas such as acting, costume design and construction, dance and choreography, lighting design, scenic design and construction, scene painting, and sound design. Students and staff produce main stage productions of full-length plays, dance concerts, and musicals. Although the school is accredited, some Google reviews have been less than flattering. With their parents' support fully behind them, Miranda and Melanie had big dreams of becoming professional dancers one day. After Miranda graduated high school in 2016, she followed her dreams of moving to LA to become a performer and meet other dancers. She moved alone and soon landed a gig as an instructor at the International Dance Academy in Hollywood. Only 1 year later, Melanie decided to finish her senior year online so she could move to LA too. In 2017, Miranda and Melanie got a place together, exploring the city and starting a social media account together called The Wilking Sisters.
And they immediately started blowing up. Like I said, a lot of this was happening over COVID times. And their account together got just millions and millions of followers.
This
Icons?
joint TikTok account quickly took off on social media after they started sharing videos of them dancing together in and around LA. When not teaching courses in hip-hop, funk, and jazz dance across different studios, the sisters attended popular events like VidCon, the TikTok Gala, and entered dance competitions.
My Shayla! Oh my god, my Shayla! Oh
Sisters
my
attended
God.
popular events like
I miss her with every fiber of my being, and I know Jenna Marbles. I know she's doing so well. I know that girl, I know she's doing great. But my god, I miss her.
like VidCon, the TikTok Gala, and entered dance competitions to build their brand and earn extra money.
Happy holidays, everyone! Happy holidays! We are so festive. Today is going to be a super fun day because we are home in Michigan. We are going to look at Christmas lights, and we're going to get some dinner and have a little car picnic. And yeah, it's going to be a fun adventure. It is. Come along with us. Let's go.
What is happening?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
LOL. Are we putting this on the car?
Yes.
Yay! We also have blankets to cover up with.
I know, we're so cozy.
And the Christmas lights begin.
Those are
We're at
incredible
the
Christmas
next
lights.
house with lights. This one cracks us
so
up
obnoxious.
every time. Okay, here it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yay, we had so much fun. awesome. We're back home, and we just want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
We love you guys so much, and we will see you on Sunday.
Mwah.
But in early 2021, Miranda, the oldest of the two, met a few creators who were part of what's been called a creator house.
For those of you saying, sorry, I've seen a couple of these comments. For those of you saying, like, I must be on a very different side of TikTok, I must be living under a rock, I've never heard of these people. I had never heard of them either, but that just goes to show you, I mean, TikTok is a massive, and I mean massive platform. No two For You pages are even remotely the same. And I had never heard of them either until I saw the documentary. So don't feel like, oh my God, how did I not hear about them? If you're not watching like dance videos, especially, like, why would you? You know what I mean? Oh, also Paigey, thanks for 21 months. I hope you're good. Hope you're still in here.
A creator house, sometimes called a collab or content house, is a residential property which is most commonly used by internet celebrities, social media influencers, or content creators in order to provide a focus on creating content for social media platforms such as YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Creator houses like the Hype House are largely popular among influencers, as it allows them to live together in mansions and create content for social media under one management agency. Individually, it allows them to grow their followers, but it also allows these young creators to gain influence by collaborating and cross-promoting on each other's social accounts. And this isn't a small thing. According to Forbes, the highest paid influencers on TikTok made $55.5 million in 2021, which was a 200% increase from what they made in 2020, with most of the money coming from brand sponsorships. Because of their fame on the app, some of the top TikTok creators have been able to branch out with their own TV shows, brand deals, music, and acting careers. Miranda became fast friends with the creators she met, and being the talented dancer she is, she was invited to join the creator house known as 7M. At the time, the 7M house was filled with well-known social media influencers like Concrete, B-Dash, Kylie Douglas, Aubrey Fisher, Kaylee Gray, Vic White, and many more. Dances are filmed by these creators every day, and each dancer allegedly makes a percentage of what is paid by sponsors to the management company, 7M Films. That management company is owned and operated by Robert Shin and his family. The dancers have had several...
Why would you not immediately, like, if you are moving to LA for the LA content creator dream, especially if you're doing stuff like TikTok dances, you would immediately seek out a content house. And I feel like they're still really popular. They've been popular for years and years and years. Your girl has always been a little too old for that shit, being totally honest with you. I mean, I also like my space. Never. I like being alone. But there are some people where it's like, it's almost like this like sorority or like frat house in a way, where you have community, you have built-in friends, you have a network of people where you can all like grow your followers really, really, really organically. Because, you know, if you're making a dance on one account, you're making a dance on another account. And when you are like this Hype House, this not Hype House, but you know what I mean, when you're like this creator house and you all have millions of followers, it's just the dream. It's not my dream, but it's somebody's dream.
Several large sponsors, including Sony, TurboTax, Intuit, and more. 7M house members were often seen filming in major areas of LA, and by working under a management company instead of for herself, Miranda was supposed to have an opportunity to work on bigger and better projects, thus expanding her online presence. The 7M group has filmed videos on Broadway, in beach houses across the United States, and even at the Staples Center in LA. From the outside, it seemed like a group that could help Miranda grow the personal brand she always dreamed of, alongside some of her closest friends. But her sister and family would have a very different story to tell.
Chapter 2, the transformation. The entire, most of the doc, I won't say the entire doc, episode 3 especially really focuses on other people. But most of the documentary follows the Wilkinson sisters. It follows these two sisters that have been in the video so far, specifically, and I'm sure you're about to see why.
There are two sides to every story. The following will be what the Wilkins family has stated publicly about Miranda's
Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was Wilkins' son.
story. The following will be what the Wilkins family has stated publicly about Miranda and 7M Films. But we will also look at what Robert Shin and Miranda had to say about her family and the accusations against 7M. Not long after joining the 7M house, Miranda's family claimed to notice a change in her life. She stopped posting and dancing with her sister Melanie and spent most of her time with the other dancers in the 7M house. Miranda spent her days filming with the dancers, and her family claims she made little time to speak with them, if at all. Miranda's parents claim to have first noticed changes early in 2021, when she had only been with the 7M team for a few weeks. The Wilkins family had faced the sudden loss of Melanie and Miranda's grandfather, and at this time when the family needed to be together, both sisters planned to fly back to Michigan together to spend time with their loved ones and attend their grandfather's funeral. It was a difficult time for everyone, and their parents were looking forward to their daughters coming home. But only 30 minutes before their scheduled flight, Miranda called her parents to tell them she wouldn't be coming home. They claim Miranda told them she had COVID and couldn't travel. But Melanie said she was suspicious of this since they had both come down with the illness a month prior, and she found it unlikely Miranda was sick with it again. After speaking with her sister, Melanie claimed Miranda admitted she wasn't sick, but that she couldn't come and her family wouldn't understand the real reason. She said Miranda then gave no
immediately, obviously, humongous red flags if she's like, you're not going to understand why I can't do this. A couple of things here. The sisters were living together in Los Angeles. They were sharing an apartment, and suddenly Miranda just disappears, is never coming home. The sisters also shared a car, so there would be so many days where Melanie was like at home and she was like, hey, I haven't seen you in days, like I don't have access to our car, like where the hell are you? And she would just get no explanation, she would get no apology, anything like that. And then this happens. She knows her sister is lying about not having COVID, or about having COVID, and she has to fly home for their grandfather's funeral by herself. If you watch that clip of the little vlog, you probably already can tell these people are very close. This is not like, families are all different, but in the documentary, it was really emphasized how close they all were and how, especially these two sisters. I mean, moving across the country and all you have is each other, and there's just one of you just disappears.
further explanation. By this point, her parents had already been out of contact with Miranda for weeks, and this sudden change of plans didn't sit right with them. They weren't exactly sure what this new business she was working for was really like, but they believed it was asking for more of Miranda's time than they thought reasonable. It's also been alleged in court filings by former 7M dancers and reported by Rolling Stone that Robert Shin controlled his church members' lives and asked them to give large amounts of money to him. Worried about Miranda and what she might have got herself into, or allegedly been recruited to, her parents decided to step in and see what they could do by flying out to California to meet Miranda in person. They wanted to see for themselves what was going on, and once they arrived, her parents claimed Miranda appeared withdrawn and defensive, a stark contrast from the daughter they once knew. Her parents once described her as bubbly and welcoming, but now said she was guarded and shared very few details about her new life. They also claimed she stormed off from them, and shortly after that meeting, Miranda cut off all her friends and family, even blocking her grandmother from her social media accounts.
Blocking her grandmother after she had just lost her husband, by the way. Blocking her grandmother after she didn't go home for her grandfather's funeral. Like, just incredibly not in character behavior. That was what the family emphasized the entire documentary, is this was nothing like her. because she loved her family, loved her grandfather. Also, when the family flew out to Los Angeles, it was in an attempt to bargain. I don't know if this is the circumstance that this YouTuber is mentioning, but when the parents flew out, they did so because they were trying to convince her to come for at least a day. They were trying to convince her, like, okay, just come for the day. Your grandmother needs you, like, we need you, like, you should be there. And her family kept emphasizing to her, you are going to regret this. You are going to look back at this and you are going to regret not going to your grandfather's funeral. And she still wouldn't go.
Family, even blocking her grandmother from her social media accounts. Miranda then deleted every picture and video on her Instagram, including the ones of her dancing with her sister. And on April 11th of 2021, she uploaded a video of her changed physical appearance, in which she had cut her long brown hair into a short blonde bob. Her dance style also changed from her favorite style of hip-hop to include more mature styles with music from Frank Sinatra, the Bee Gees, and more. She began performing with the 7M crew not only for their social media accounts but at special events around LA. Then, to her parents' and sister's shock, she changed her name on social media from Miranda Wilking to Miranda Derrick. Known as B-Dash, James Derrick was a 33-year-old dancer at the time who is also under 7M management. He and Miranda worked together for the 8 months she had been with the team before deciding to tie the knot. Their followers watched the engagement take place through social media, where B-Dash interrupts a video to propose to Miranda. Just 1 month later, they were married, and no one from Miranda's family was invited. Her parents were noticeably upset about the marriage. Miranda didn't involve them, and even went on to block her parents' phone numbers and social media accounts before moving to a location they weren't aware of.
The family was familiar with this man also. He had spent, I believe, a couple of weeks during COVID with them. And the Wilkins mother has said he was very polite. He was very kind. Like, they did like him. I think they were very clearly dating at this time. But during her, fully going no contact with her family, they get married. There's this really very obviously set up proposal video. And I mean, they're a really gorgeous couple. They're an attractive couple, and everybody online just didn't think twice about it. But meanwhile, her family is like, what do you mean you got married and you didn't tell us?
This is when her parents and sister began to think something more serious was going on behind the scenes. They thought Miranda may have been forced to cut contact since it was so different from her normal behavior. They claimed to have once had a loving relationship, but Miranda now acted as if her parents and sister didn't exist. Could this be a classic case of estrangement in which Miranda's family aren't respecting her boundaries? Or,
give me 1 second, you guys. Hades knocked his tennis ball under the couch and Mumu is not letting him get it. So give me 1 second here. I have to get the kid his tennis ball. Yeah, Mumu says you're not allowed. Where's it? Where'd it go? You threw it under there? Oh my goodness. Mind you, there's literally another one on the floor. Here we go. Oh my god. Sorry. And you know what's funny? Is there were literally like 5 tennis balls under that couch and he only wanted this one, which is what he switched to.
could it be something sinister? On February 22nd of 2022, Miranda's family reached out to social media for help. At this point, they were worried Miranda was under somebody else's control, unable to make her own decisions, and forced to cut off her family. Melanie used her social media platform to share a video of the 3 of them asking for others to tell Miranda to come back home and share the fact that she was not in charge of her own life anymore. They said they believed Miranda was involved in a cult or being held captive against her will by 7M management.
So whatever she's involved in, she's got some kind of control over her that is making her afraid of something. And as anyone that knows our family knows how close we've always been. And prior to her getting involved in this like religious group that she's involved in, we never ever had a disagreement or an argument, her and I.
So here's the thing too. Melanie also was going to these church things and everything, and she realized
Well, we never
right.
we never really addressed that, so I guess we're addressing it.
Yeah.
Miranda is a part of a religious group, and she's not allowed to speak to us. They tried to get me involved. I did go. I did like it at first, and then I realized there were numerous red flags that I could not ignore and knew that it was not something I wanted to be involved in. And then as soon as I was telling Miranda, you know, these concerns that I had, she would just, you know, oh, you don't understand, blah, blah, blah. And if you guys know, we never fought. Miranda and I were very strange. We were attached at the hip. We didn't fight about anything. And then towards the end, as soon as I decided to leave this organization and Miranda decided to stay,
And the thing
we
is-
were fighting constantly about this because I was like, Miranda, they're taking you. They're gonna try to separate us. They're gonna blah, blah, blah. Every single thing I said was gonna happen and my parents said was gonna happen, happened.
And the thing is that B-Dash was involved, and he also, we believe, is a victim of this.
Yes,
They have
exactly.
both been lured in, and now they think that's the only way, is that the way they live.
And
that's the thing.
That's the thing that we've realized is Miranda, James, all these people that they're with, they're not in control of their lives. Someone else is controlling their lives, and they're all victims of this. And it would be so easy to just like forget about, oh, screw her, you know, like she doesn't care about us anymore. But we know that's not her.
She would never ever block Grammy.
No.
Grammy and Papa were everything. And after Papa died, to think that she wasn't attending his funeral.
And he was
says-
like a second father to us. It's not like we weren't close.
You guys
We were
talk
so
to
close.
Grammy and Papa every single day, if not more than once a day. So to not
I think as well it's valuable to mention that to me there's two sides to every story, but to me this does not seem like this doesn't seem like a case of somebody going no contact with their family because they're toxic, because there have been bad things that have happened, because there are, you know, fights, or I don't know, even that there's just not changed behavior. I think you can tell so clearly. And again, there are two sides to every story, so know that this is just kind of my opinion. No, Evie, I don't think that the family is... maybe it's because I watched the entire documentary with them and I saw what they were doing and I saw the extent that they were going to try to track her down, to try to even just tell her, like, hey, it's okay that you don't want to talk to us right now, but you have to know that we are here for you. Like, the minute that you decide this isn't for you anymore, like, we're here. Her dad was showing up to this, like, house and, like, ringing the bell and saying, please, I just want to talk to my daughter. I don't get the vibe that this family is toxic or bad, or like the parents seem super supportive. From everything that Melanie has said throughout the documentary, they've always seemed really supportive of like whatever they wanted to do. Good night to those of you heading out. Hope you catch the rest of it tomorrow. I don't think personally that this was a case of, okay, somebody cut you off and you're just making up excuses in your head. Like, this is very clearly a very close-knit family. Melanie had moved to LA to be with her sister. I think this is also, mind you, a year after all of this had started. So they had waited like a year. This actually wasn't a video. It may have been cut down into a video and posted on Melanie's account, but it was actually a live stream that they did. Static! Oh my goodness! Happy 2-year anniversary, Lime. Oh, please, drink one for me. Shotgun a lime White Claw for me. King, how was stream? I didn't get to pop in. I hope it was good. So this was not like they went on to say, like, in this stream as well, like, we didn't want to bring this to social media. We didn't want to bring attention to it in this way. We have sat here for a year and we have not said a word, but like we don't know what else to do. They didn't say anything during like the whole thing where Miranda was skipping the funeral. And remember when I did that on FaceTime for your birthday? You did shotgun a live White Claw for me on my birthday. I didn't stream. I was too lazy. I don't know why I thought you were. I think I popped into your Discord really fast and I saw that it was streaming, and I assumed it was on Twitch. I hope you had fun. Were you and CG playing Pal World? Or was it something else tonight? So, yeah, they had waited a year. Also, mind you, in this time frame, the Wilkins sisters had a social media account together that like they were taking brand deals and stuff for, and like they were supposed to be doing collabs, and the entire time Melanie is pushing off sponsors. She's telling like collab people when they're like, hey, where's Miranda? She's like, oh, she just couldn't make it. Like Melanie has been covering for her for a year. So again, I don't get the sense that this is a family who like was really shitty and Miranda was cutting them off for her own mental health. I think this is control, plain and simple. Yeah, congrats. Drew, you're 2 years old. Static GN. You're only as old as you have been a member of the channel. Good night to those heading out. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. And I have a lot more to say, but...
I'd go to his funeral and he was like the #1 supporter.
Oh my gosh, on his last day, he was showing the nurse our TikTok videos. And he FaceTimed us and was like,
and he was showing that you guys were on the billboard in New York City. He was so proud. And then Miranda's now blocked Grammy from everything.
Yeah, we're blocked from all our socials.
We're blocked from everything.
And it's so hard because this has literally been going on for over a year, right, but we haven't said anything because we always had hope that she was going to come back. That's why, especially in the first few months, we didn't want to embarrass her because...
And this is her second birthday now. We've not been able to spend with her.
Because this is so mind-blowing. I always tell people when I'll get together with people that we knew from before, like we'll do videos together or whatever, and they're like, what happened? Like, where is she? And I'm like, I literally cannot make this up. And I say it and they're literally just like, I don't know what to say right now. And I'm like, I know, I don't either. And that's why it's been so hard to, like, even now, I don't even know what we're saying. Like, we probably aren't even making sense because
she got married and we don't even know when she got engaged. Where. I don't know where. I don't know who officiated the wedding. I don't know who was in attendance. So when people say, oh, Kelly, congratulations on Miranda's wedding, I don't even know anything about it.
And then and that's why it's like social media can be such a crazy place because then I'll get messages where it's like, oh, you don't support your sister's marriage, and I'm like, I didn't know about it. And we're blocked, so we don't see anything. And so it's just, no, this is so real. It doesn't, we just want Miranda back and don't know what to do. I think that's why we're doing this, is we don't know what else to do. I think that's exactly what they want, is they want us to just go away.
Go away so they can just continue doing what
they don't know who they're best. They don't know who we've been beforehand. They don't know how close we've been.
And
I do know a person that came to our house. This person came to our house and sat in our house for over 7 weeks during the pandemic. And this is her husband now, and said, you have a very different, weird family. You're way too close. And other people around us know the fact is we know that. People say that we are too close. We're weird that way, but we have a bond. We have a bond that we wish upon other people, that we can talk to each other no matter what. And somehow, some way, something changed our daughter. In no way in the world that a religious organization that we can't control has controlled her now.
Once this video from the Wilkins was shared online, family members and friends of other dancers under 7M management came forward to say they too believed something was going on because their loved ones had also cut off contact or seemingly gotten married overnight. Some even made claims that their friends within 7M had suddenly turned very religious since joining the team. This spread like wildfire on social media, and all eyes turned towards 7M to see what was really going on.
Yeah, this video kind of saying like, okay, this has been going on behind the scenes for all this time. Even people who didn't follow them were like, what do you mean? You know, you're very, very socially like relevant family member who has millions of followers and who also you have this joint account with. What do you mean she's blocked you? Like, what do you mean you have no idea what's really going on here? Sorry, I saw a comment that I liked and I wanted to respond to and I can't find it now. Oh, Rory. They're not twins. I think I missed something vital. No, Miranda is the older sister. Melanie, the one who's not in the cult, alleged cult, is the one who you just saw talking, and she was the one who was in the documentary, etc. I totally thought they were twins too. They look.
In 2021, 7M Films was officially registered as a business in California, owned and operated by Robert Israel Shin. Robert is a former medical doctor turned businessman and pastor of Shekinah Church. Many churches have an entertainment arm, like choirs who film and record worship music, and or have a wide selection of books and merch. Regardless if one agrees or disagrees with that, it's not abnormal for Robert to run multiple businesses, no matter how different they may seem. What is strange, however, are the allegations that Robert's teachings at Shekinah Church are rooted in something known as the Seven Mountain Mandate, which is also allegedly being pushed to his employees in the 7M TikTok group. As stated before, the Seven Mountain Mandate is a conservative Christian movement that categorizes the 7 spheres of influence present in our lives today. These 7 spheres, or mountains, are family, religion, education, media, entertainment, business, and government. The notion behind the mandate is that by making a change in each of the 7 spheres, you can bring change to the world as a whole.
There's not room. Hunter, there's no open thigh. I'm sorry. I know. You're so handsome. Really quickly, I'm just gonna double check that I'm caught up with everything. I am. Slay. I always just try to check to make sure I'm not forgetting a super chat for like 20 minutes.
Former members of Shekinah Church allege this was taught and honored at Robert's church. Some sources allege the church and Robert have a lot of cash. In a 2010 deposition by Robert, Shekinah Church had 70 members between the years of 2000 and 2000.
All right, Hunter, you're shaking the whole table with your incredible moves here. Say hello to the people. A very rare Hunter sighting. He's been very active the past few days, like very social, very active. He's so annoyed with me. We have been watching this documentary literally every single night lately. So he's just been sitting with me in the living room and I've been so impressed with him. He's so brave.
By Robert, Shekinah Church had 70 members between the years of 2000 and 2008.
Wow.
70 members who donated a total of $4.7 million to the church in those 8 years alone. It was also alleged that these members not only donated to the church, but to Robert himself, as he allegedly taught others that he was the voice of God. On top of this, available documents also show that Robert was given nearly $300,000 in checks personally made out to him by the church congregation in October of 2007 alone. Is Robert just such a kind-hearted pastor who moves his congregants to donate large sums of money to him? Or could there be something else going on behind the scenes? Some have speculated it's through operations hidden below the surface and the alleged mind control of people below him. In March of 2023, Rolling Stone reported on an ex-member of Shekinah Church who is suing Robert Shin and 7M. Rolling Stone reported, quote, "According to the Cross complaint, Shin exercised control over his church members' lives and asked them to give large amounts of money to him. He deployed deputies, called mentors and sub-mentors, to exert control over their fellow church members." These deputies did his bidding, including collecting tithes from other members, moving money from members' bank accounts, instructing members where to live, and instructing members on how to spend nearly every waking moment of their time, according to the filing. The cross-complaint alleges Shin even interfered with members' healthcare, claiming he sent members to a COVID vaccine clinic where a Shekinah member working there pretended to shoot cross-complainants with the vaccine, but just squirted it onto their arms. End quote. The 2.
What? That is foul. Oh my God, that is absolutely foul. What? They had Shekinah church members pretend to give vaccines? Pretend to give COVID vaccines? That has to be criminal, right? That actually has to be criminal. I don't see how it's not.
$5 million creator mansion owned by 7M Films boasts luxurious master suites, film backdrops, grand fireplaces, and an outdoor pool and spa areas. The 7M creators live in the house together and use it as a backdrop for many of their high-end social media videos. Although Robert himself doesn't maintain a very active online presence, he is sometimes photographed around Los Angeles living what appears to be a life of luxury. He's been seen getting in and out of Bentleys, and it's alleged that he also lives in the creator mansion owned by 7M Films. He is thought to own or operate 17 other entities and companies, as well as Shekinah Church. In a statement provided to the Daily Beast on behalf of 7M Films, Miranda and her husband James Derrick, and the pastor of Shekinah Church, a representative said while the Derricks were members of the church, the business dealings of 7M Films were separate from the church. They denied being a cult and equated the Wilkins claims against Miranda and the church as a family dispute, saying, quote, "Miranda Derrick is a successful businesswoman and a loving wife and daughter who cares very much about her family." While the recent portrayals of Dr. Robert Shin and 7M Films has been wildly offensive and riddled with inaccuracies, those false claims will not deter 7M from supporting Miranda in whichever endeavors she chooses to pursue next. End quote.
It's time for Mario's Minute. Miranda and James Derrick are a popular TikTok dancing couple who have been going viral for their dance moves.
That's the thing, is these people were like, you saw earlier, they had like their glam bot done at the Grammys. Like, they're like the poster children for this organization.
Welcome. How are you? So nice to meet you.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Oh, that was great. I love seeing couples dance together right now. How'd y'all meet?
Thank you so much.
Well, we met like on social media. We were just dancing and doing things like that, and
I slid into some DMs or what?
my God.
Yes, actually I did.
Good for you. Slid right into home plate. There you go.
I get it. They seem sweet. They seem like they really like each other. I don't know how much this video will get into B-Dash, who is her husband. But everybody who knows him says what a great guy he is, how charismatic he is. Like, you hear them talk and it's like, aw, this couple makes their money dancing on TikTok. How lovely, how sweet.
Worked, and now we're here. So.
Wow. Yes. And is it true that you proposed during a dance video?
Yes, that is very true.
It's all because like I want to do something where she will not expect it. So I was like, maybe a dance video. So we did the dance video. And I was like, yo, you gotta act like you're acting at the end, so I had to like play it off, stuff like that. And
I was so surprised.
Were you surprised?
Yes, yeah. I thought it was just any other dance video. We prepared it, choreographed it, and then he told me to just kind of like hold at the end and then do some kind of like.
I'm gonna let you guys see her face. I don't think that this is someone who's being honest
Pose.
when she's sitting here talking about this proposal in any way, shape, or
it
form.
all stuff like that. And
I was so surprised.
Were you surprised?
Yes, yeah. I thought it was just any other dance video. We prepared it, choreographed it, and then he told me to just kind of like hold at the end and then do some kind of like pose. So I was like, okay.
So I was posing, and I turned around, and he was on his knee.
Yep. Very
I was
romantic.
so thrown off. It was so awesome.
I'm not to say that these people can't be in love beyond all of this stuff. It's just, I don't for a minute think this proposal video was real. I don't think what she's saying is true. And I think that, like, I think this is entirely orchestrated by the group. Like, especially when you have other people saying that their family members, their friends have done the exact same thing. You know?
A player move right there. Nice.
Hey.
So who comes up with the choreography?
I would say that it's pretty equal.
Yeah, like I come up with a lot of the ideas and concepts, but like as a group or like a dance, we just like kind of like play off of each other.
Got it.
It's kind of like
Yeah, we come up with some ideas and then just pick each other's brains and come up with our content.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
It must feel great to know that you're inspiring other couples out there to do these dance videos. Because I always say the couple that dances together stays together.
Hey, that is very true. Oh no, it's so awesome. I can't believe it.
Yeah, dancing is like a medicine. It's like, no, just, hey, if you're having a bad day, just start dancing.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I know.
And then you even have celeb fans like Britney Spears, I know.
Oh, man.
Reposted. How was that?
Oh my goodness, my childhood favorite celebrity just reposted one of our videos. No, that was incredible.
That's awesome. Well,
That was so cool.
All right, so before y'all go, you mind showing me a couple moves?
Oh my gosh, let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, let's see. You take it away.
Okay, so we go 5, 6. We're gonna start with the right shoulder, right, left, and then double it up on the right.
Okay.
And then we go
Same thing.
left,
Okay.
right, and then double it up on the left. Nice.
Okay.
Now we're gonna take it back. We're gonna go 1 and 2, Charleston, 3 and 4. We're gonna do a little ball change. Left, right, together, left, right, together. Yes, and our hand just does a little whoop.
Mario was like, what? I love that Mario was just sitting there like, Sorry, I mean, not that she's a bad instructor. She literally taught, I think they both taught dance classes in LA when they moved, so.
Okay, so bump, boom, 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 boom.
Back it up.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hop, ball, change.
Pull the chain.
Oh no, he's got it. He's got it.
All
Never
right, let's
mind.
try
He's
with the
fine.
music. Let's go. Let's try the music. Hit the music. Here we go.
Maybe Mario Lopez is a better actor than she is, because for a minute there I was like, oh my god, this man is so lost, but he totally has it.
Here we go.
I feel like this music is surely copyrighted. Maybe not if this YouTuber has it in the video. But
Nice. All right. Big thanks to Miranda and James. Check out more of their dances on Instagram. We'll be right back.
Miranda's family strongly believes that Miranda would never cut off contact with them by herself and that outside factors are in play and clouding her judgment. Some have speculated her marriage to B-Dash was allegedly arranged by Robert himself, as that's an accusation ex-members have come forward with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very private person.
whoa, look at the chat. It's really blurry, but obviously you're seeing like you're doing amazing, like everyone loves you, and then you have someone saying get out of the cult.
Obviously, this is the first time going live on my account. So so one of the questions is, are you okay? I am great. I'm actually way more than okay. Thank you for asking. Never felt safer.
Oh my god. I just feel so sorry for her. Like, what she goes on to kind of do to her family, like, it really stinks. I'm sure that this video will get into that, but like, I just feel so sorry for her because at this time, she fully knew her family was flying to Los Angeles to try to find her. And like other members who have left, I want to say Kylie Douglas was talking about this. I could be misquoting, but in the documentary, one of the former members said that Miranda would sit there and like violently sob because she missed her family so much. That's also, I think, why like earlier when we were listening to the video of the family, I was like, no, this is not performative, because I've heard so many people say Miranda was not unaffected by this in any way, shape, or form. She did not just like cut them out and never thought about them again. Like, from what I understand, she and all of them cut out their family because Robert had told them, allegedly, that you had to die to yourself, you had to die to your family to be resurrected. And he brought like that into it, right? And specifically, the guilt that he put on them was, if your family won't join the church, if your family won't believe what you believe, if you cut them off, if you save them this way by dying to yourself, you'll be resurrected and you will get into heaven, which means they will get into heaven. So he was telling them not just like, hey, for your own salvation, for your own good, you need to cut off your family because it's going to make you closer to God, or like whatever. He was also telling them like, your family is going to burn in hell unless you do this thing. I mean, it was just manipulation on manipulation on manipulation. And when you have someone that dependent on you, all of your friends are through Shekinah Church, all of your friends are through 7M Films, like you live in this content creator house, all of your money is tied up in Robert, and also you fully buy everything coming out of his mouth. Of course, that's what she thought she had to do. And it's really unfortunate, not to spoil anything. I mean, it's not really spoilers because this is real life. It's not a story. She never came back around. She's still making content online. Apparently she has opened up a line of dialogue with her family and has started posting with them again, but a lot of people find it pretty performative, almost like maybe Robert or Shekinah believed, like, and this is just my thoughts, like, hey, we've got all of this bad press from the family, let's give her back in this tiny little way that we can, you know, let's give them back access to her in this small way, so that it makes them look like liars, that it makes them look like, oh, this was just a family dispute. Anyways, I'm gonna keep playing, but I have a lot. I have so many thoughts on this.
I'm actually way more than okay. Thank you for asking.
Poor girl.
Never felt safer. But yeah, I mean, there have just been a lot of lies being told, just a lot of twisting of the truth.
Yeah, girl, but not on your family. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that I have spoken to my family this past year. I actually just talked to my sister a week ago. So there's that. Oh my gosh.
You know what's crazy? I fully forgot that I was supposed to post on Instagram that I was live. I'm gonna go do that. It's kind of late now, actually. Well, what is it gonna hurt? If anybody wants to pop in for a last minute late night stream, I'm gonna drop the link on IG stories super quick. And then we're gonna finish this out. I need to feed the dogs and stuff, but we'll finish out the video because we only have like 10-ish minutes left. I completely agree. Well, now there's thigh space open, Haunter. You can come here. Haunter. Come on. You're not Haunter. You're the other one. You're Haku. I love calling. I love looking at my pets and being like, which one are you? Obviously, I know, but I think it's so funny. Come here, baby. Haku, don't. Haku, what are you doing? Oh my god, I have a lint roller sheet because I have to lint roll my microphone cover every time that I film over here because it literally... there's just always hair on it. Sorry. Haku just started gnawing on the lint roller. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was crazy. But Hunter, I know. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yes, we're good. Slay. Nope. Oops.
She'll look presentable.
By looking back at this story from a few years ago, we can see that the Wilkins are not the only people to make accusations about Robert. In 2009, a woman named Lydia Chung attempted and failed to sue Robert and Shekinah Church for $4 million, claiming they partook in activities like mind control, overexerted influence, coercive persuasion, oppression, and other intimidating tactics while she was a part of their group. Lydia was also a member of one of Robert's older church groups and alleged she felt she was being held captive by a cult against her will. Lydia alleged Robert took over parts of her personal life, such as her email passwords and bank accounts, to pay for his family's entertainment, living expenses, medical bills, tuition, and more. She also accused Robert of controlling her mind and forcing her to make decisions that were not in her best interest. The judge ruled against her, deciding Lydia acted of her own free will as an adult, although the judge did add that Robert's behavior was outside the norm and bordered on coercion. Coercive control can be used on—
Isn't that not crazy? It's not illegal to be in a cult. It's not illegal to be a cult leader, allegedly. Like, I had heard about this portion of it, and like I had heard that the judge had ruled against her for this lawsuit. And what I'll say is that I think lawsuits are very hard in general. I was literally just talking about this last stream, that I was a jury member on a massive lawsuit trial between two of quite literally the richest men. I did not know people could be that rich. And it was an absolute train wreck. Very juicy, but an absolute train wreck. And the guy who I fully believed had so much evidence of the claim that he went into this case with, and I was in the minority, finding him, you know, finding in favor of him, finding that the other guy owed him money, because everybody else was caught up on this one portion of it. Like, there are so many pieces of the puzzle when it comes to lawsuits and stuff like that, and like there's nothing criminal here apparently, although there is, I don't know how much she is going to talk about it, but there have been criminal things. Also, I agree with you, Susie. Religion itself is not a bad thing. People weaponizing it for bad reasons is, and screw anyone who takes religion and humanity's desire for meaning and uses it to manipulate people. I completely agree with that. I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with religion or spirituality or anything like that, but I think that in any kind of religion, whether it's, no matter what religion it is, there's always going to be somebody who wants to manipulate people to make money off of them and to make money off of their vulnerability, and the fact that, you know, this is, you're supposed to trust like your religious leaders and stuff. So
on anyone, children, adults, and or the elderly, not just members of a cult. Coercive control is an act or a pattern of acts of assault, threats, humiliation, and intimidation or other abuse that is used to harm, punish, or frighten their victim. Countries such as Denmark, Spain, France, Hungary, and Ireland have implemented specific criminal offenses for psychological violence or coercive control. But at the time of this recording, the United States unfortunately has no federal laws that cover coercive control. The management team running the house may be part of the rising suspicions behind Robert's intentions, as the 7M house is managed by Robert while his son Isaiah films and produces most of the online videos. Hannah is the registered CFO, and Robert's ex-wife Shirley is allegedly the house's attorney. And finally, Daniel Joseph is a director of the 7M videos as well as the registered secretary of Shekinah Church. Daniel is also married to Robert's daughter Chloe, who picks out music for the 7M videos. All of these employees/family members allegedly work at or appear to be extremely interconnected with Robert's businesses and Shekinah Church. Although multiple families have spoken out about what allegedly goes on behind closed doors with Robert, 7M Films maintains that their company is completely separate from Shekinah Church and that the members within their entertainment group are not associated with the religious holdings. They also claim that their dancers are not forced to be members of the church and can leave the group on their own accord, and that dancers are not forced into any religion. Robert is currently being sued by ex-dancers and talent from the 7M Films management agency and Shekinah Church. According to reports, 3 dancers, Aubrey Fisher-Green, Kylie Douglas, and Kevin Concrete Davis, have joined 4 other complainants in accusing Robert of owning a cult and recruiting members through his entertainment empire. They claim he takes advantage of his followers not only through 7M Films, but through Shekinah Church and the multiple other companies under his control. These 3 ex-dancers are suing on very similar accounts to what Miranda's family believes she is going through. Aubrey Fisher-Green, a Crump street dancer with over 2 million TikTok followers, was brought into the church group by a friend in 2020 before starting to work for 7M a few months later. The lawsuit filing alleges 7M quickly took control of his business, noting that Robert had church members set up a corporation under his name and assigned someone to do his taxes.
I could be wrong, but I believe that friend, excuse me, oh my god, I just spit on you guys. Sorry. I believe that friend was B-Dash. I could be wrong, but I know that like when B-Dash, which is Miranda's husband, and I can't think of his actual name right now off the top of my head. When he joined, obviously it was like, you know, because he liked dancing and stuff. So I could be wrong. I think it was B-Dash, but I could be wrong.
Aubrey also alleges Robert collected money on his behalf and even sometimes took up to a 20% cut before giving Aubrey his rightful earnings. Robert has also allegedly applied for COVID relief funds under his dancer's name, collecting filings that went towards himself. According to Rolling Stone,
And the government doesn't care? You would think if they cared about anything, they would care about the money. Oh my god.
Filing claims 7M took money from Aubrey through several other avenues. He was stiffed $6,000 for a song promotion project in April 2022, according to the filing, and he was charged high fees for videography by other Shekinah members. It also alleges he donated more than 10% of his income to Shekinah at Robert's encouragement. Aubrey tells Rolling Stone, Shekinah members were taught the more you give, the more you receive. The cross-complaint states, quote, towards the end of his time with Shekinah, Aubrey started to feel a sense of emptiness and like Robert and others in Shekinah were keeping secrets. He left the church and stopped working with 7M in August of 2022. Aubrey and Kevin both claim they were not banned from speaking to loved ones outside the church, but that it was heavily discouraged. They state they were mocked for visiting family members and were always urged to clear their entire schedules for the church. Former 7M dancer Kylie Douglas alleges in the filing that when she visited family for holidays or other occasions, her mentor in the church told her in front of other members that she was, quote, sucking on her mama's titties.
Oh my god.
The filing claims Kylie's mentor also constantly urged her to clear her schedule for Shekinah and yelled at her when she insisted on having her taxes done for free by a family friend rather than paying a church member $200 to do them.
The group also definitely employed or implemented, perhaps is a better word here, guilt trip tactics. So at the beginning, when Miranda got involved with 7M, Miranda is the sister who's in the organization who we kind of have been focusing on. Melanie was like, okay, you're really into this. Like, I'll come, I'll see what it's about. And one day she said in the doc, like, hi Tofi, hope you have a good day at work. One day at work, no, here's what it was. I was thinking about Tofi going to work. One day Melanie is going to go pick up a friend from the airport, and that's her plans for the day. And somebody from the church calls her, I want to say it's Chloe, who is Robert's daughter, who I don't know when this was made. Oh wow, this really predates the documentary on Netflix. I didn't realize that. Okay, so since then, Chloe has actually left the church, his daughter, as far as I understood it from the documentary, that is, which was a huge deal. So I didn't realize this predated the doc. That's actually really interesting. But yeah, Melanie is gonna go pick up a friend from the airport, and I think it was Chloe who calls her up and is like, hey, Robert really wants you in service today. He really thinks you need to hear this message. And Melanie just immediately gets this like weird feeling and is like, no, I'm gonna go pick up my friend from the airport. And Chloe's like, well, can't you just have them Uber? Like, can't we pay for an Uber or something? Like, I really think you need to hear this message. And that was when Melanie was like, okay, this is really strange. Like, why would somebody be like pressuring me to come to church service? You know what I mean?
The filing also states that Robert yelled at Kylie and Aubrey during a church service because they had declined an offer to move into a rental house Robert owned, stating, quote, he used Aubrey and Kylie as an example of members who were not properly submitted to Shekinah and God, end quote. In the filing, Kevin Concrete Davis claims 7M took 20% of his brand deals after telling him they would only take 15%, and that they failed to compensate him for choreographing a film for Shekinah Church. He also claims he gave 30% of his income to the church in donations, and that he did construction work for the church on one of its properties, work that he was never paid for. A few months after joining, Kevin grew uncomfortable with the church's policies, and he left Shekinah and 7M in July of 2022. The three complainants believe the 7M group relies on the religious institution run by Robert Shin to keep members locked into the group without the ability to leave. Robert's attorney had not responded to several requests by Rolling Stone for comments, but they have denied asserting influence over their dancers or taking advantage of them in any way they had been accused of. It's clear that Miranda's family is not alone in their accusations. Miranda has responded to the claims made by her family on her social media in an attempt to clear the air for her followers. Miranda claims that although there was a change in her life when she first joined the group, her version of events is nearly completely opposite to her sister's interpretation of it. Lawyers from 7M have also sent forward statements on behalf of the dancers. According to them, Miranda says the COVID-19 pandemic provided her a chance to reflect on her life and reevaluate where she was at the time, as well as her future wishes. She claims that since she has had a chance to walk with her God in a serious way, she has felt a spiritual shift within her that she is grateful for. Miranda's statement spoke about starting to study the Bible and learn more about it, and also stated she knows her friends and family have seen her change, but that the life she is living now is better than it was before, and that this change was ultimately for the better. On her social media accounts, Miranda has posted messages to her audience claiming that she has never been asked to separate herself from her family, and that instead, she chose to change her own life on her own.
Sorry, there's something in my eyeball. If you keep seeing me, like, blinking, it feels really dry. Oh my gosh, that was so random. I tried out a new foundation today. It's the e.l.f. satin. Comes in a little tube. I think it's relatively new. They had sent me it in PR and I got the wrong shade, so I bought the right one today. And oh my god, it's really nice. I was just looking at my makeup and it looks really good. Oh, I was gonna read that. Sorry. That was what I was trying to... I literally don't know what's in my eye right now. So if you see me, like, rapidly blinking, I don't know what that is. But as a hair flies out. So apparently Miranda wrote, "To everyone who has reached out asking if I'm okay and involved in a religious cult, thank you so much for your concern, but I am not involved in a religious cult. And regarding the statement saying that none of us are speaking to our families, I can say that everyone in my management group speaks and communicates with their families. It is just my unique situation where I am not speaking to my family as often as I used to because they were not supportive of the decisions I made," which I don't believe.
According to these posts, Miranda was going through a personal situation with her family. She asked her followers to appreciate that she made the decision to cut contact with both her parents and her sister. Miranda also claimed she wasn't happy when she was part of the Wilkins Sisters brand, and that she told her sister she would continue on their joint venture if she was given more say in the schedule and production. According to Miranda, she wanted more control and an equal partnership, rather than being controlled by her sister.
I don't believe that for 2 seconds. She's the older sister first and foremost, and I think even just in the videos of her talking, you can tell she was significantly happier with her family in that one vlog, like, than she has been in any situation since she cut them out.
Also claimed she wanted more time to spend with her now husband and more time to study the Bible.
Wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. These men turn from the right way to walk down dark paths. They take pleasure in doing wrong, and they enjoy the twisted ways of evil.
In all, Miranda's explanation for her life change is that she's now living the life of her dreams. It simply took her a while to make the changes needed to get there. Her family continues to believe this is impossible to be true and that there are sinister forces at hand. Miranda's story is still playing out, and at the moment, there is no proof of wrongdoing or mind control. But some believe Miranda is not acting like herself. Robert is still being criticized by previous employees for what they claim he did to their life, and at the time of this recording, the lawsuit is ongoing. If the word of the complainants is true, Miranda could be a current victim of a cult-like scheme meant to turn her into a money-making asset, while isolating her from friends and family. This is what cult experts sometimes refer to as commercial cults. In a commercial cult, greed is the name of the game, and victims are deceived and manipulated by people to work for little or no pay in the hope of getting rich or achieving whatever their dreams may be. A multi-level marketing company, aka MLM or a pyramid scheme, is the perfect example of a commercial cult, where members are coerced through the company's CEO and flying monkeys, also known as their right-hand men. These bright-eyed and willing recruits become indoctrinated through the company's books, back office material, and constant schedule of meetings, team gatherings, and one-on-one time with their mentor or sponsor to believe that the company they've joined could be the vehicle to get them where they want to go, whether that's their dream of getting out of debt, becoming a homeowner, or living a glamorous influencer-like life, etc. But to drive that vehicle where they need to go and not get lost down a path full of stops and distractions, recruits need to cut out family, friends, and anyone who may question their newfound dreams and goals, as that could hurt the entire organization. These victims believe all their sacrifices and hard work will be worth it and turn around and recruit other victims, thus becoming perpetrators. And the cycle is repeated over and over again down the pyramid. At the end, only a few at the very top walk away unscathed.
Really interesting, because MLMs are sort of culty. I've always kind of thought that. Like, MLMs certainly have that sort of there are a lot of people at the top winning, but at the expense of everybody at the bottom.
Could Robert Shin just be a hardworking businessman and pastor who is highly successful in his religious and entertainment organizations?
No.
Someone who is perhaps fortunate to have such great relationships with his family to the point they're happy and willing to work for him?
No.
Is Miranda's family majorly overstepping her boundaries by putting their family estrangement online and not letting her be? Is her sister perhaps jealous of her newfound career and success? Could the dancers be thankful they found a one-stop shop for success, faith, and friendship? Or, from another perspective, could Robert be at the top of his own commercial cult with his family members as his right-hand men and his money-making assets, the dancers, beneath them? Could he be providing them with everything they need, faith, food, clothing, shelter, consistent work that comes with its own tax help and accounting, as long as they do what he wants? Could the group's recruitment and indoctrination tactics be found in Shekinah Church, in which the dancers' faith is manipulated to further the goals of Robert and 7M? Could prospects be invited to Shekinah Church by 7M's dancers in hopes of recruiting them? These are all questions I hope eventually get answered. If, keep in mind, I am stating if, what the Wilking family is saying is accurate, their desperate attempts to reunite with their daughter strongly remind me of Catherine Oxenberg's fight to rescue her daughter India from the dangerous cult of NXIVM, in which she was recruited by actress Allison Mack, who was directly under cult leader Keith Raniere. If you want a deep dive into that wild story, be sure to check out my documentary titled The Rise and Fall of Allison Mack. As for now, Melanie claims she continues to reach out to Miranda as she and her family believe her beloved sister is being held captive. Both sisters are still influential public figures, but now on very different roads, and without the original heartwarming touch the Wilking sisters' account relied on. Robert Shin and 7M Films have denied all the allegations against them and any wrongdoing to the media. This story has many moving parts and isn't over yet. I'm interested to know what you think below in the comments. If you like learning about cults, scams, and cautionary tales, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an upload. My name is Josie, and thank you so much for watching.
Literally no. Thank you, Josie, for making this. I actually can't believe, I'll play this out so you guys can see the credits, but I actually can't believe how detailed this was, knowing that it predated the documentary on Netflix by like a year, but it just goes to show how long this has all been going on. I think it's since the Netflix documentary that Shekinah Church, maybe. Oh wait, a pet palette cleanser. Oh! Yes, I love it. Thank you. Oh, wait. Oh my God. Yes. Wow. Those are really great. This is fantastic. Oh, wow. Look at the void. Oh, wow. What a fine gentleman. Bentley. This is fantastic. This is, yes, spicy. They look spicy. Wow. It's funny because actually a lot of people that I've seen have kind of compared whatchamacallit 7M to NXIVM, which is also really interesting. I mean, I've told you guys for a while now. Oh no, Mr. B, shut the hell up. I am not talking to you right now. I was gonna go look up Miranda's TikTok. And I know I don't need to say this to you, but just because I'm pulling up her social media does not mean in any way, shape, or form that you should send her any kind of commentary or like, you know, hate or anything like that. I know you guys are not like that, but I feel like I have to put it out there before I show. How can I mute these TikToks? Could I just turn off the volume of my computer? Because I know all of them are going to have some sort of copyrighted music. Yeah, okay. Wait, can you guys hear it? You guys can hear it. I can't. Oh, man. Crap. Okay, I see. Hopefully I don't get copyright claimed for that 2 seconds. All right. So first off, this is her account now. You know, God is good, which is not inherently like a bad thing to have in your profile, but certainly seems like something that would have happened post all of this, okay? And it looks like she and B-Dash are still together. Got each other's backs, hidden messages. Huh. I think, no, I don't. TikTok, leave me alone. It seems like she's still very much so online. I don't think you guys can see this under my head, but it also looks like she's still getting active sponsorships. Yeah. Interesting. What I was checking for, though, specifically was that I wanted to see if there was anything of her and Melanie, because I had seen some people say that she was posting with Melanie again. There also, okay, so there was a lot that wasn't included in that video that I just showed you guys that like I could get into, but we would literally be here all night because it was put out like, you know, a year and a half ago. Susie, the only 7M that should exist is 7 million cats in my house getting kisses. Exactly. I thought 7M meant 7 million. I thought the cult my God, I thought the cult had 7 million followers. One thing that happened that was really hard to watch was that I can see if I can find this video. It might be kind of hard to track down, but so Miranda, after her family puts out that live stream / video where they're like, we don't know what else to do, we don't, this is all we can do is like try to track down our family member this way because like she will not speak to us. Wilking sisters, was it live? It was definitely a live. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. There's this one clip where she, oh my God, there I am. That's so funny. All I did was search Wilkins sisters and I came up. I didn't even include them in the data of this video. Oh, here's their YouTube channel, the Wilkins sisters. Wow, this is crazy. The last video was posted 3 years ago.
Hey, well, kings and queens, it's Melanie here. It's been a minute, but I'm so excited to be back. I have a very exciting video for you guys today. I'm working with Ana Luisa. They sent over...
Aw. Oh, I guess that Miranda wasn't even in this one. I wonder if this is when it had kind of like started, because I know that at one point Melanie like came online and was like, hey, like I know you guys aren't seeing Miranda in things, like she's just focusing on her own stuff. Anyways, so the family puts out that video where they're like, we don't know what else to do, like we think like she is being controlled by somebody. Thank you, Indy. Oh, brother. People complaining about ads. If you complain about the ads, I really don't know what to tell you. On a live stream, no less. But after this live stream comes out, this video comes out, Miranda agrees to meet them, and then she live streams when she meets them at like this hotel, and she's like, hey, since my family wanted to put all of this online, here's my mom and dad, do you guys have anything to say? And her parents handled it with such grace. It's this clip, I don't know where I could find it, but her parents were so sweet. They were like, all we want to say is that we love you and we're so happy to be talking to you. And during that meeting, basically Miranda and B Dash had said, take down everything that you said. Like, take down absolutely everything that you put out online about us, about Shekinah, like whatever. And they were like, no, like we're not doing that. And she ends up getting really pissed off and leaving. So that's what happened there. I mean, I think the documentary is worth a watch. The third episode focuses more on I think there's 3 episodes total. I just watched the third one last night. I kind of had to stop watching it though. It gets a little hard to watch, but not in a way where like, excuse me, how can I explain this? The third episode was really hard to watch, but it was mostly because it focuses on other people who were part of Shekinah before 7M Films was ever like a thing. It focuses on people who were in this religious organization for like years and years and years, and who have been out for years and years and years, who kind of pop back up because of, you know, the documentary and stuff like that. And it was just kind of hard for me to watch because of honestly personal stuff. Like there's a conversation that one of the girls has with their dad, and I kind of just had to turn it off, but it has nothing to do with the documentary. So I guess I didn't technically finish it, but I do know the vast majority of what happens. I think that there's so much stuff here I could not even begin to explain in a live stream, let alone a very discombobulated live stream. If you want additional coverage, Annie Elise did phenomenal videos on it. We just watched that documentary from Not the Good Girl. If you guys want to check her out, down below. I totally will consider making a video if there's enough interest in it. I love talking about cults. Obviously don't love cults, but I find them really fascinating, and I feel like, I don't know, I have a lot to say about them. So I totally can make a longer video that would be very like researched and a lot more detailed, but I have a feeling it would be incredibly long, probably as long as this stream, with genuinely just straight up edited footage. But yeah, that was kind of a little toe in the water of the 7M cult, and I really hope you enjoyed this. Not my usual stream, but I had a lot of fun, so I hope you did too. Hope you enjoyed our little live. Sorry, I'm going back to the live room here on YouTube. Yeah, I love 10 to Life too. Annie Elise is amazing. She's one of like my favorite true crime people. It's really like for me now, it's Annie Elise from 10 to Life, it's Rotten Mango, and it's Bose. That's really it. But that all to say, I think your girl's gonna call it a night. I was kind of thinking about like playing some horror games or something. My eye hurts so bad. I think it's I'm wearing like very different makeup for myself. And I think this mascara is like getting in my eyeball. I still have TikToks and stuff to film tonight too. So just a fun reminder that if you watched Midsommar and never thought good for her, you are not immune to cult manipulation tactics. You know what? That's real. I said this kind of in my last stream, but the thing about cults that's so terrifying is that you're not immune. You can think you are. You can think that like it would never happen to you. It sure as hell can. Somebody just has to say the right thing. People who are in cults are often very, very intelligent people who just were targeted by exactly the right person, the wrong person, but the right person, you know? Yeah, I actually watched a bit of Kendall Rae's episode on what the documentary left out as well. There's a ton of coverage, so if you guys want to look more into it while you're waiting on me, it's definitely pretty interesting. So yeah, I really appreciate it, you guys. I will see you again on Sunday. I don't think, unless something crazy happens, I don't think I'm going to have the energy for an actual video. We'll probably touch base again next week on a real video. So just streams for the moment because there's just so much going on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys about this. I found it really interesting. If you guys are members of the channel, I actually did a video. This would have been like 2 years ago now. That's crazy. It's one of my favorite members videos I've ever done, where I watched a documentary with you guys. I watched The Jinx and basically like checked in every episode and kind of like summarized things if you didn't want to watch the doc too, but sort of talked about every episode. So if you are a member, make sure to check that video out if you like talking about true crime and stuff like that. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed though. I will see you Sunday. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. The stream likes to cut me out, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of room before I end it. But okay. Love you guys. See you later.